1. Bing, bing, bing. Here we are. It's a Friday. It's the AV community meeting, the original time, and I guess probably going to stay at this time for unless anybody can play, just so we don't get confused. We have Michael, we have OJ, we have Sam. Here we are. Does anybody have any community business that they were?
I didn't get that, Sam.
Oh, you didn't hear? Yeah, no, I talk much too fast. I was just asking, does anybody have any community business related to the AV tool that they wanted to talk about today?
Not community. Okay, maybe I don't community business.
Even if you just had questions about the AV community, this is a perfect place to ask them.
Oh, okay. So far, not really. Nothing much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. You're just coming to hang out, which is totally fine. Good stuff. Anything on your mind, Michael?
No, not really.
Okay. There we go. So I guess that comes down to me. I mean, I guess I'll just give a quick overview of some things that happened in the last week or so since the last. I have gone and added now the excuse me, what's it called? It's called the Code of Conduct to our Getting Started page. Definitely experiencing some slowness with the site, like you know, loading the Getting Started page there should not be taking, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. I mean, I assume that's just because our server is coming under
Maximum initialization or something.
All the people coming through. Yeah, I guess, or that it's like, woo, it's a real. Yeah, the DNS address could not be found. Maybe that's my site. Can you guys reach the site?
Let me check my end.
Well, it's now I ran out on my side. I guess the world's infrastructure is maybe collapsing. But so we have now here in our Getting Started pages, which I've proposed, we've got this. We're recommending all projects to take the contributor covenant, and our community code of conduct is mentioned there in the Getting Started pages, and that's on being. So I guess it just reflects something happening in my local area. It's funny to be talking to you guys in real time over the internet that's working, but then the web pages are slow. I don't know what's going on there, but so yeah, I guess nice to have that in there. We've got in our we've got like all the different bits and pieces in there. That's all added, and I've also added it so that the welcome bot that greets people when they do also mentions, let's make our community a friend code of conduct. Yeah, and I've also moved the greeter bot for projects to the new shared Slack channel here. We've got our shared between, this is the Wiki EDU folks. They've got their own Slack instance, and we're using this new Slack beta functionality to connect the two Slack. And I think I saw, yeah, we can see there new people joining. I think there's somebody from Agile Ventures Group joining the shared channel, and then we've got my kind of bot greetings there. Of course, I feel like I should add like a thing that basically, if it's greeted somebody with that in the last, do exactly the same thing again. But anyway, so that's all working out. It's nice to see that's all active. I guess we can't see the rest as a result of the shared channel, and they can't see the rest of ours. So, but there you go. Yeah, that was the main things. This, I would say, it feels like the activity has been a bit lower this week. I was probably the only person in the scrums, and then there was a few the scrums each day since. Had a lot of I felt like good meetings on Thursday. Local support meeting on Thursday was very full. Sigu initiative to run sort of like an open source weekend activity and get a lot of tickets together that are accessible to the beginners to the open source contribution process, which sounds good, and the mobs have been very full and very active. So yeah, that's about the discussion of a data science mob. Yeah. So that's kind of things that are going on.
Cool.
Yeah. OJ, have you been thinking about? Have you been getting involved in any of the projects? Being involved in any of the projects?
Yeah. So I was actually trying to get involved with Website One.
Oh yeah.
Since I got back from boot camp, I've been trying to settle back home. So I recently just got all my tests to pass for Website One. Hello.
Hi there. Yeah, your audio was breaking up. I wonder if we might video to make better use of the bandwidth.
Bandwidth, yeah.
I could maybe.
All right.
Yeah,
So can you hear me?
Yeah. You were saying,
hello?
yeah, you've been kind of busy with tests and getting set up. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So initially, when I tried setting up the Website One, I was having all this Sprockets errors and all that. I think basically what I just did was I removed Phantom.js from my PC and reinstalled it, and that kind of fixed all my problems. And my Website One tests are all passing on my PC now.
Oh, great. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, well, so I'm the Website One project manager, and yeah, if you need help getting set up with that, I'd be very happy with that. You say you've got all of the tests passing locally on your machine? Yeah, I guess we still don't have wonderful. You say all of the tests passing for you on your machine?
Yeah, all the tests are passing.
Oh, that's great. So were you looking for maybe something to work on the web?
Yes, about to do that, but I'm gonna do that. But I have a question, Sam.
Yeah, go on.
What would you advise to be the best approach? You first of all try to understand what is happening in the app before picking up a new feature, or just delve straight in picking up a new feature? I was thinking going over the feature test, trying to understand all that has been done so far.
Yeah, it's a personality thing in that I know for myself, big fan of trying to just get something done, like trying to make an individual change that changes something to help me understand things. Because for me, if I'm just reading lots and stuff, I kind of fall asleep, and then I just. But everybody's different. I'm more comfortable with, say, reading all of the feature tests to get a sense of what it's going, and your mind can engage with that. Then I think that's fantastic. Oh, we've got Joao here as well. Hey, Joao.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hi, Joao.
We're just talking about sort of approaches to new projects with OJ here, and so I think it could be either one. What I often recommend for getting into a project is, rather than necessarily taking a feature first, is that you could take a chore or a refactoring thing or a bug fix. I think is often, sorry, I'm going to get some more light here, is often an easier place to start than than trying to implement a full feature. But yeah, what do you feel? Do you usually prefer maybe you haven't looked at so many different code bases in your life, so you haven't yet found what your particular style is?
Correct. Yes.
But so yeah, it certainly won't hurt looking for features, but we can certainly be very happy, now or anytime in Slack, if you wanted help identifying, something to work on, like just as you can see my screen here, we have this is the waffle board with all the tickets for things to work on, and you can see that we have different point numbers on different stories. And so, for example, here in the ready column, there's one here which is like have comma on users account page be linked to activity tab, which we've voted on. We've estimated that that's a one pointer and would be quite simple. This is actually a feature, but I think it's a fairly simple feature. And so you'd be more than welcome to have a go at this if you were interested, and I can give you help and support doing it, and up to you.
Okay. Do the waffle board.
Yeah, I'll paste you a link of that in the main chat there, and you there. But feel free to say that you're not interested in that, and we can find you something else that's more interesting. Or even just, you could be, one way to make looking at the different features interesting is if you just want to read some of the features and then ask questions in the channel here and say, hey, Sam, I was just looking through this feature and it made no sense here. What does this do? What does this do? And I'd be happy to answer your questions to make that, more an interactive process. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And so Joao's here as well, having some lunch there. All right, and we've got a good view of that exciting ceiling there in Pivotal in New York. That's what we really want to pay for. Joao, how are things going with you?
They're doing pretty good. Just came back from vacation, still getting things set up. Pretty fine.
Good stuff.
So, do you want some update on the projects or something?
Yeah, I mean, we've been round and nobody had any strong business. I gave a little overview of like how things were going, and then we've just been chatting about onboarding OJ into the website, one project. But yeah, if you wanted to give us a bit of an update on how things are going with you and any other just general community issues that you had, that would be great.
Yeah, so like currently we are having some issues for Mac Plus.
Oh yeah.
Because we did our first user, let's call it user interview, and the HR people from companies and stuff, they looked at it and said, "Yeah, we're missing a ton of stuff there."
Oh yeah.
So we had to alter everything, and we are like backfilling things for the applications and stuff to see what we're missing, and so unfortunately we had to more or less halt the demo for it, because it doesn't make sense to keep like this trial period on if you don't have the features that we kind of need.
Okay.
And yeah, that said, I've been out, I think I haven't been to a meeting with Chet for a month now, because I moved and then I was on vacation. So next week we'll have another one. So Patrick is a person that has been a little bit more with it. So yeah, currently the Mac Plus project, we are having these hiccups, and we need to somehow to kickstart this again. I believe from what I've seen that Pat by himself, I'm not sure if anyone else is contributing at this point. We had like 1 or 2 contributors, and we kind of need more people to give it some bandwidth. So yeah, that's for Mac Plus, and I think that's cool. That's cool. It's not really cool, but that's how it is. And yeah, for the other project, the OpenPeer Power, during like the last couple of weeks, I set up everything that Paul needed. I created the channels. I set up integrations for notifications on channels. I created all the repos that he needed. And yeah, I hope that eventually the next week we'll be able to shoot our first story and do it. I don't know. We'll see. The project is interesting, and I have some questions still about like how everything's gonna work together. But we'll see with time.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting project, and there's people joining and asking questions, and looks kind of active. Cool. Is there anything else on your mind about Agile Ventures in general, or anything at all?
So like, not really. I've been a little bit disconnected. So it's been hard this couple of weeks.
Yeah, no worries. No. I mean, you're just getting back into it, just providing space there. I mean, I think we'll probably keep this meeting at this time going forward. Yeah, I guess if we haven't got any other business, I'm just interested to ask a couple of questions about Met Plus. Is that good?
Yeah. One thing about this meeting. If there's another time that more people can come, I don't mind if the meeting changes. I can always see the videos after and talk about it and chat or something. So let's keep an eye out if there's another option of time that brings more people in.
Totally.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just interested because you said like they had an interaction with like a user interview with this is like a kind of not chat, like a stakeholder, some kind of.
So basically, what happened was Chat picked up the app and went to a company and told them, "Can you guys use this?" And they started using it and saying, "No, we can't."
Right. And so this, so I guess like the whole design of the app is based upon Chet's like his mental model of what these other companies would use, right? Or would be useful to them. Go
on. Yes. And like is not, from what I gather, is not really off the mark. The only issue is that for an HR, there are other needs that maybe he was not aware of or is not, because his job is not the HR part, is the talking to people and get people to jobs. So there are like legal stuff that it needs to be aware and things that the companies need or they expected to have in a system like this that he was not aware of. So now we're just like the first time that we showed it to people, like if we showed it to job seekers, it would be fine because I think it should be.
Yeah, they don't have such strong requirements. Yeah, totally.
The other side of the coin, yeah, that's where the issues will start.
Right. So I guess, I mean, it is where it is. It is what it is. I guess it underlines the point of how it would have been great to talk to those stakeholders much earlier, right?
Like, are there are there requirements like, oh, we want you to, are you going to disclose any disabilities or like all these other like legal things that every application asks, like.
Right.
Yeah, things like that. And those were things that we didn't like. We applied to jobs, so we saw those forms and that information and everything. But yeah, there are things that we didn't realize that they were needed, so we are adding them.
Right, and so that's presumably just that, but they're not things that are like incompatible with the existing system. There's a series of features like 10, 15, 20 that just all would need to be done before an HR group would say we can use this.
I think at this point we had like from the last meeting with Chet, I think we had like 4 features that were missing, and like these features are not like, oh, you were like showing this when like this information or when we shouldn't, like it's not. I don't think it's really legal. It's more like, yeah, we need this field.
Yeah, we
need to show this field.
Yeah.
So basically, I think the majority of the things that we're currently missing are things like that. So, well, you forgot to have the licenses in this.
Okay.
And
yeah.
We're just building on it. So, but the issue is that
I guess the challenge is that for Met Plus that there was a time when there was lots of people, hitting, and it's now kind of like we thought it had got into the state of all the stuff that was needed. Those people have kind of gone off to other projects, and yeah. So
currently there's not much. There's not a lot of people doing
Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting. Like, I guess, you know, presumably the people that Chet is taking the software to and showing it to them, that they're already using other software systems. Presumably, they're already using like existing off-the-shelf or custom solution. Like these HR people that he's talking to, are they doing everything by maybe I don't know? Are they doing everything by hand?
I don't think so.
No.
I think they are doing it already in other systems, and they are creating jobs in other places.
Right.
So yeah, like these people that is targeting is like, so this is a portal for our for our, it's not company, for our
non-profit, yeah.
For our non-profit. And if you guys want to get people from our non-profit that we're training and everything, you just come here and then post your
and you need to post your job in here, and the
job
people
in
are
here.
saying, okay, if we're going to post our jobs here, we need to be able
we
to
need this and that.
this. I mean, I'd be tempted to say to them, you can't just put it in free text, but anyway.
Yeah.
They obviously, they're key stakeholders to have on board, and so their needs, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, like the app is live at this point. It doesn't do anything because it doesn't have like any
jobs in it.
Jobs there, but yeah, it's live. He got a domain and everything, so it's there.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for things to wrap up and push it back again to the stakeholders that are going to use it and see.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's sort of, I mean, thank you so much for the update and the summary. It's really interesting, obviously great learning experience for everybody involved. I guess it brings me back to the bigger AV community issue that we have in some ways is just making it easier for people to get started with our projects. Like I get the sense, I mean, we've got like people signing up for the community at the rate of about 10 a day through the website as a result of all of this free Google AdWords advertising that we get. And then we have, you know, 1 or 2 new people coming into Slack every day, you know, through that. And then there's the other channels, people coming from boot camps and MOOCs and this, that, and the other. But for all the kind of people arriving, the number of people that we sort of successfully on board to working in projects is not nothing, but it's kind of, you know, it's a very small number. And I'm often having kind of connections with people and they're trying to get started and then they sort of drift away. And I don't know. I guess I am all ears for what we can do to try and make it so that like getting involved in an Agile Ventures project is a bit more sticky, you know, that it's like you can get involved easily, you can get started, have fun, and you want to just keep contributing. Do you know what I mean?
Totally understand what you're saying. What I don't get, like, is, okay, you're a person that registers to the website. So if you want to be part of the community, I don't know. It looks like a lot of people join Slack, but then there's no interaction at all from them. It's like, I don't understand the reason behind it. Like, why would you register and go into Slack if you just are not interested in like anything? Like that. And it's strange. I don't know if it's very difficult for people to start working on projects, or if just people just join to see what's happening and just leave. So it's a question that I have that I'm not sure that if you'll be able to answer it here.
Yeah, no, well, it's an open thing. I've got lots of thoughts on it, but I was going to go to maybe Michael. Do you have any thoughts on that subject at the moment?
No. I think it's just that it's kind of like MOOCs.
Right.
People sign up, and then it's like much easier to sign up for something than it is to overcome whatever roadblocks or just find the time.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
The attrition rate's like going to be fairly large.
Yeah.
But how can you get that lower?
OJ, you're I mean, obviously coming out of Craft Academy. You're trying to get set up. Any thoughts on how we can make Agile Ventures like more attractive to people like yourself who are just getting started?
I think I would suggest that. Well, I think you're actually doing that. You're doing most of that already, encouraging people to come on board and take on projects and all that. But I don't know, some way to iterate to new joiners that no one is is a dumbass, or just feel free to join and express. You express anything. If you don't know how to do anything, just come out right to say you don't know how to do this. Because I'm going to take myself as an example. When I initially joined, before I went to Craft Academy, I saw was interesting and scared. Like, wow, can I do this amount of being done here? And I just had to step back. You mean that there are several other people, in that same position, who are going through what I went through. So probably just, I'll say constant orientation and just reiterating across the various channels, the general channel that, man should always feel free to ask for help if they need to. I think we can have more people, joining. And
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, that gives me kind of an idea related to. I'm working on trying to improve the way that we post information to the general channel, like about meetings and so on. Like, and it's kind of messy at the moment because for whatever reason we've been set up so that we have the kind of the raw links in there, and so when we look at all this, I'm gonna have to go, but when we look at all of this, it's a bit of a mess. But if we could do a bit like what we've done on the website, where, and one I'm just breaking up the getting started, but if it lets me get there, is on the homepage when you're logged out, we changed this is kind of like a bit of a crazy message. We changed it so that when you're logged out, it says, want to learn more, listen in next project's review meeting. So, I think like perhaps it could be an improvement if we were able to tidy up these posts so that it was, the link was directly to the thing and it said, hey, come and ask questions. Newcomers welcome, like you're saying, might be a way to go. Yeah. Well, thanks, OJ. That's really great input.
Do we have a lot of people on scrums, on signups and stuff?
I was just saying before you came, Joao, it's pretty light. I've had, I've had 2 new people who were never in scrums before this week, and I had some good interactions with people in scrums and helped them out. But it's certainly not. It's not busy. It's not busy at the moment. So we need to look at that. I mean, I think just to address some of the things as well that Joao you were saying is, I think, like Michael says, lots of people will just sign up for something to sort of see what it's like. I think the difficulty we have partly with Slack is that, one, that's not so familiar with people, and when people first join it, they're just seeing it in a web browser, right? It comes up in their, like in a web browser. They haven't got the Slack app installed, and so they go and kind of look at it and kind of go, like they're looking at a web page, and then they go away again, and they're not necessarily seeing the ongoing activity because, they have to remember to go and look at it. You know what I mean? Like, I think if we had some mechanism where the, activity was more, you could see the activity in the website, and we had some sort of framework that was basically checking in with people and saying, oh, hey, you joined up a week ago, have you thought about getting started with this project? There was sort of like a process, even like you filled in your interests and you said, oh, I like this tech stack and this stack, and you kind of had more of kind of the site took you through a process of engaging you to kind of like, what are your needs and preferences, and then made suggestions to you and then followed up with you, could be helpful. But
do you think some sort of like mailing list that you can send every week with some highlights of the week or something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
bring people in.
We've been doing this newsletter, and it's kind of faltered a little bit because the number of people opening the newsletter has gone down, and yeah, I think we might want to switch away from a general newsletter to something slightly more targeted to individuals, you know, a bit more personalized. But it's yeah. Anyhow, I better go myself. Guys, feel free to carry on chatting. OJ, great to see you. Just reach out for help in Slack or any of the meetings next week, and you know, help you with website one. Joao, good to catch up with you. Michael, always a pleasure. Guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Sam.
You too.
Bye, Mike.
Bye for now. Take care.
Bye.